It's your boy, U-Goboy. That's Mongo, all right? This is the U-Goboy podcast channel. But before we start, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got unfiltered, authentic conversations. We got sports talk. We got drops. Oh, yeah. So, Mongo, what should they do?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Yahtzee.
We're 6 weeks in. We're 6 weeks in. This isn't like, yo, okay, week 3, week 4, they're still figuring out. You're almost halfway through. And you're the worst in everything, every major statistical category. You're bad. There's nothing worse. You can't justify him still being the DC right now, let alone in another week or two. What else needs to happen?
You go, boy.
Mongo. So much to discuss. Episode 71, I believe. Are you ready? Are you ready? Mongo's ready.
No.
I'm ready. Episode 71. Let's go! Yahtzee.
Whoa. Hey, this a vibe, nigga. Whoa. Woo. Secure the bag, I need more. Hey, 3P, Jordan. Whoa. Woo. I can't keep it on a low. This a whole vibe. I don't need a plug, no cosign. Thinking out loud, that's a gold mine. Mask on, yeah, COVID-19. Baby mama, yeah, looking like Rihanna. Rest in peace to George, rest in peace Brianna. Still kicking like Van Damme with my niggas in Amsterdam.
Mongo.
You go, boy.
Mongolicious. Oh my God. The NFL season is seasoning for sure. Our teams are both spiraling out of control. When is the draft, Mongo? Is it in April? Is it too late to do the draft super show? Is it too late? Too early? Too early, rather?
Listen, I'm so far gone from this thing. It's 117, 125 days or something like that till pitchers and catchers report. I don't even want to talk about this team right now.
Oh my God. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys know the vibes. Episode 71. We're going to kick things off with your Jets. That's what we're going to do from now, for moving forward. Because, I'm going to get on my CM Punk pipe bomb rant. Shout out to Punk, number 1 contender for the world title. I'm going to get on my rant about my Cowboys, but we always kick things off right. We're going to talk about your Jets. You're 0-6. New York Jets, Jets, Jets. Mongo, I don't even know what to ask. Like, 0-6 is it as bad as you thought it'd be? How did we get here? And so 3-part question, and of course, last but not least, you sure about that number 13 overall pick right now? It's not looking good, buddy. The floor is yours, dog.
Hey, listen. Yeah, no, I will just apologize to our viewers. I'll apologize to you. I'll apologize to myself for doing this to myself. I thought it was going to be bad. I thought it was going to be 19 teams better than us bad. I did not think it would be. I think Iowa State can take us in a best of 5.
Savage.
This is awful. This is some of the worst football I have seen. And it's not even endearing. It's not fun. It's not optimistic. This is brutal. I mean, this is a team that is fundamentally terrible. This is a team that in 2 weeks, Elijah Vera Tucker is going to miss week 8 for the 4th straight year. This is a team that Aaron Glenn convinced them, I can fix the worst defensive backs in the league, and he can't. He simply can't. Brandon Stevens stinks. Andrew Sisko stinks. Everybody stinks. This is a team that is already talking about where is Breece Hall going to be in 3 weeks. This is a team that pays Alan Lazard for some reason. There are so many question marks about a team that should have been so fundamentally simple. We know the story. The quarterback needs to be treated with kid gloves. They're missing a wide receiver too. They're missing a cornerback too. That's supposed to be the story. It's supposed to be 49 fairly competent guys, and those were the 3 question marks. Not, all right, at least Sauce is still kind of saucy, and the rest of the team stinks. This is brutal, and I'm sorry. I'm off the Aaron Glenn train already. Wake me up when we re-sign Adam Gase. I am done with this. When you hear him talk I thought the preseason gave me he's cool vibes. Dude's not cool. Dude is scared. When you hear him talk about not wanting to do anything with the ball at the end of the half because he didn't want to give the ball back, I'm sorry, buddy. That's how football works. Eventually, they're going to have the ball. That's just the way the sport works. And so to sit there and have a coach who is afraid of what his defense might do when asked to stop somebody is terrifying. And I mean, I'm loaded with the stats here. We can go over it. But at the end of the day, it's a team that is not disciplined, that is not hungry, and that is not well coached.
Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I want to give you a hug, buddy. I know where you live, so I'll pull up afterward and give you a hug. But this is brutal. I missed the London game. Thank God I slept through that. Had a fun night in the city. But I watched the highlights. I watched what was an absolute unmitigated disaster at the end of the half. I mean, you guys have the ball. You're at about midfield. Nick Folk, I'm familiar with Nick Folk. I remember when he was actually drafted by us back in 2007 and was a Pro Bowl kicker. He's been up and down, but for you guys, he's been pretty solid. In his latter years, he's gotten better. I don't understand the logic of not trying to get three there, trying to steal three right there. I'm with you on that. Like, you don't want to give the ball back, so you don't want to score, so you don't want to win. You don't want to score and you don't want to win. That's how that translated to me with that explanation that Glenn gave about that performance there, and it was very Matt Eberflus-esque from the Thanksgiving Day, the debacle that got him fired. Foreshadowing. We'll get to that idiot. But it didn't make sense, and you can expound on that because that was tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, let's put this into perspective for a minute. Put Tyrod Taylor, Arian Smith, and 9 guys from special teams out there, and just throw deep to Arian Smith, knowing that if it gets picked off, it's basically like you're trying to defend a punt return at that point. That would have been a viable strategy over, I'm just going to run out the clock. Punt it into the 9th row. I don't care what you do. It is wild to see a team do nothing. And it is because when this team tries to do something, it literally does nothing. My favorite stat so far, by the way, they finally recovered a fumble in London, which means, yes, after 6 weeks, they still have not recovered a fumble
takeaway of the season
in America.
First takeaway of the season.
No takeaways in America yet, but we're working on that. Baby steps.
Savage.
Here's my favorite stat, just so you know where we're at. 7 forced fumbles this year. First fumble recovery, roughly a 14% ratio there. Just to put that in, not only is that dead last in the league, to put that into perspective, the Tennessee Titans, the coachless Tennessee Titans, who fired their coach, their number's above 100 because at some point this year, they recovered a fumble that they didn't force. The other team just dropped it, and no one was given credit for the forced fumble. So it's not like you're 86% behind the leader. That's a stat you can go above 100% on, and the Jets are at 14%. They do not dive for balls. They do not go for 50-50 balls. They do not play like a team where every play, every down matters. And you know why? Because their coach doesn't believe that for some reason. He's the first coach in history who says, we don't need to make the most of this opportunity. It's not even bad. It's alarming. It is fundamentally flawed. And I don't know if he hung around Ben Johnson too long, who doesn't seem to believe the ball is always important because Ben Johnson's wanting to fling it to anything that moves. But something needs to change immediately, because if that's going to be your strategy, we'll get him out before we take a quarterback next year, because I do not want this guy touching a rookie.
Like the video. We'll wrap up here with this point, and then we'll keep it moving. You would think with Glenn coming from the Dan Campbell, the Fighting Dan Campbell University, you would think some of that would rub off. Like Dan Gamble and his recklessness, which continues to cost them championships. That's in and of itself, that's its own entity. But you respect the fight. You were like, that is something we talked about 2-3 years ago before the Lions began this run of being a Super Bowl contender year in and year out with the Fighting Dan Campbells. You respected the fight. You play the Lions, you're gonna feel it the next few weeks because it's a fight. Whether you beat them or you lose to them, regardless, you're gonna feel it a couple weeks after when you play the Lions. You would believe that since Glenn was on the defensive side, like some of that would have rubbed off. I get negative infinity vibes of the Dan Campbell tree from Glenn. I get no Dan Campbell aura whatsoever from him. And I thought that's why he got the job. I thought that was like his calling card, not just the defense, but the aura. The aura. When you play, we're the New York freaking Jets. Isn't that what he said in his opening press conference? We're ready. We're gonna do this. And it's just like, yo, okay. I was like, all right, culture. We talked about it. Culture. This sounds like a culture guy. No. No culture, no aura. It's like you said, it's alarming. It just is.
Absolutely. Honestly, it would be the most Jets thing ever for them to not do their due diligence. I mean, I'll put it into real life perspective here for a moment. Shout out Wild Thing, by the way, got married this past weekend. One of our best and brightest listeners here.
Yahtzee.
But Wild Thing and I come from the same hometown. And, our group of friends is a fairly rambunctious group. But if you go person by person by person, eventually you find a couple strong B personalities in there, a couple quiet ones who kind of just get lumped into the rowdiness. That could be Aaron Glenn. I mean, he might have just been the quiet voice of reason in the loud room that was Dan Campbell and co. But how Jetsian would that be to have not done their due diligence and just assumed, oh, he's from the Dan Campbell tree, he must be a Dan Campbell guy? They found the counter voice in the room, and I mean, honestly, in a room with a bunch of Dan Campbells, that's valuable. But then they paired him with guys like Chris Banjo, guys with Steve Wilkes, a bunch of great type B personalities, and just where's the fight in this room? Where's the fight in this team? I just don't see it. And unfortunately, with all the holes they have on this team, we're now looking at a real reclamation project on our hands because Fields is not the answer. And so we'll talk more about that as we get closer to the draft. But now you're using pick 1 on Fields, so you're not getting anything, any real help until the second round, and it just spirals from there. And I would at this point, unless they find the next Andrew Luck in this draft, I'd be surprised if this team is even competitive again before Aaron Glenn is gone.
Like the video. Sorry, Mongo. It's 6 weeks in, and I feel for you first, Jason Enrique as well, but you first, man, because you deserve better.
Nick's
13 years and counting.
Nick's open in 9 days. I'm so
savage.
I'm so off this football season, man. This is.
I know. I mean, I feel it.
There are Adam Gase teams out there that were more enjoyable. This is just an unlikable group of guys collecting a paycheck.
Oh man, I think it's about that time for us to talk about America's team. Like let's talk about America's team. Like we go from Jersey's team to America's team. The 2-3-1 Dallas Cowboys. No, that is not the record of Liverpool or Chelsea or Tottenham or
the
Fulham.
record's stupid.
In typical Cowboy fashion, Dak Prescott is playing out of his freaking mind.
Yahtzee.
Like, he is having the best season of his career. He'll be a top 2 vote getter in the MVP award again. Like he should have won it 2 years ago, but as I digress. But what's getting lost is the fact that this is an historically bad defense.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Because this is what we do. We're both nerds. We're both sports junkies. This is what we do. The Cowboys in 6 games have given up exactly 360 rushing yards. That is a perfect 6-yard clip. So 6 yards every single time. a running back touches the rock, they are guaranteed a minimum of 6 yards.
Savage.
I don't know if you know this, Mongo. Rico Dabo is still running.
Savage.
He's still running. He said, buckle up. And the Cowboys, they didn't even get the Uber. They didn't even get the lift. Like
Savage.
Like he looked like, I didn't know if I was watching LaDainian Tomlinson or Walter Payton or Ronnie or freaking Deuce Staley back there or Emmitt Smith. Barry Sanders, insert great running back. I don't know who I was watching back there yesterday, but Walter Payton plays for the Panthers now, and he had a field day. God rest his soul against the Cowboys. It was just he had something nuts, like 13 or 14 runs of 7+ yards. I'm going to say that one more time, Mongo. 13 or 14 times he touched the rock yesterday. He had a minimum of 7 yards. Just gash. And again, Cowboys, we knocked off the Jets. Congratulations on that at the Meadowlands and whatnot. And it wasn't as if Breece Hall didn't gash the Cowboys in that one, because he did. He gashed the Cowboys in that one as well. Like, the run defense, which was supposed to be the calling card for this team with the addition of Kenny Clark, is a disaster. It was a disaster with Micah Parsons. It's a disaster without Micah Parsons. And I haven't even gotten to the pass rush yet, Mongo. And I haven't even gotten to the secondary and linebackers yet, Mongo, because it's all bad.
Tell me when I'm telling
Like,
lies.
this is I know Trayvon Diggs is coming off injury, so I expected him to not look like himself this year. And borderline washed. Like, it's looking like Ty Gain, Arm & Hammer back there with him. Deron Bland looks bad. Like, and he's like the one corner that I actually trust in the secondary right now. Rebel's still injured. Mongo, why is Donovan Wilson still in coverage? Like, these are questions that need to be asked. Like, why is he still in coverage? You know, why are they on a decisive play, 4th and 3 with the game on the line? You get a stop there. That gives you about 5 or 10 yards. Aubrey kicks a 90-yard field goal. You actually win that game. Why are you why is Deron Bland 10 yards off coverage? The alignment is mind-boggling, Mongo. Just, you got Diggs, you got Bland. These are historically great press man corners. You play so much zone, it's not even funny. You play more zone than anybody. You play more zone than Discovery Zone, if they're even still in business. Like,
Savage.
you're playing nothing but zone all day and all long. Why is Kyer Elam still on this roster? And which ties into the bargain basement bullshit theory that we continue to expound on. Cowboy fans, I'm looking right into you. Right into you. Shout out to Insta360 for the 4K camera. I'm looking right at you, Cowboy fans. What did you expect with this offseason? We talked about it. Kenneth Murray? No. Jack Sanborn? No. Donovan Wilson is still on this roster. No. You trade away Micah Parsons 2 weeks before the season starts. Like, what did you expect? I'm sorry, Jadeveon Clowney, he's really lighting it up. Like, Mozzie Smith is inactive for like the 3rd or 4th week. Bro, this defense is so bad, and it's not going to get any better. Like, I know they're waiting for Overshown to come back from injury. They're waiting for Rebel to come back from injury. Kalen Carson, I believe, and Jonathan Joe Beningo, he's going to be active this week as well. Stop the presses.
That can't be real.
According to Stephen Jones, like, both of those guys are going to be back this week. But it's just like, I don't see this getting better. This is a 7-win team. I said that when the season started. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
They're still going to be a 7-win team, but Dak is going to have something ridiculous, like 45 touchdowns, 5,000 yards passing, and they're going to be a 7-win team. And expect a fully defensive draft and a new DC. I'd do it now. I'd fire Eberflus today, right with Callahan for the Titans who just got fired. Matt Eberflus should be fired today, Mongo. Today. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You waiting for Thanksgiving for Mahomes to throw for 500 on you? Is that going to be the nail in the coffin? Is it? Or Jaden Daniels this week? You waiting for Jaden Daniels to put up 400 yards on you? We had Bryce Young looking like Steve Young out there. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, Ted McMillan had his first 2 touchdown catches of his career against the secondary because Donovan Wilson is still in coverage. Like, this defense is a disaster, Mongo. And as a Cowboy fan, it's disheartening, but I saw it coming. And Cowboy fans at home, we told you so. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Mongo.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you could pick a lot of words for this defense, most of which we're not allowed to say on this station. But one phrase I will use that may explain why Eberflus is still there, and that's the phrase self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, you know, when you mentioned Donovan Wilson, I'll give you the old coming to America, because here's the thing. These guys knew they were the island of misfit toys as soon as Parsons got moved. They know that Jerry doesn't do free agency. Yeah, they got a couple extra draft picks, but they don't have 53 draft picks. So in a lost season, why should these guys care?
Tell me when I'm
Honest
telling
question.
lies.
They're not going anywhere. Maybe at worst, they're overpaid backups next year. But I don't blame Donovan Wilson for just going through the motions this season. That's on how they handled this offseason. That's on how they handled Micah Parsons. And that's on how ownership should recognize the rest of us feel about the Cowboys, because you just said it. 7 wins, mediocre, and as much national attention as they get, only being let off the hook because the Jets are god-awful. The Dolphins are god-awful. The Saints, feisty as they might be, are god-awful. The Browns have 9 quarterbacks and are still god-awful. You know, the Cowboys are just the worst of the second to worst tier, and that's going to be the best deodorant this season. But if you're actually in it, whether you're an avid Cowboy fan or you're one of the players, your team stinks. You're mediocre at best. You're going to stay mediocre, and I don't blame them for just going through the motions. It's a lost year, just a lost year where you can't get a top quarterback like the Jets can at least.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Like the video. A lost season with a quarterback having an MVP season.
Sucks.
Number-wise.
Sucks.
And a number 1 overall offense. Like that's the damning part for me. I could see if the offense was struggling and was just like mid, like, okay, they're not really putting up points and this defense is terrible. It's just all bad. But if this was just the 20th ranked defense or the 25th ranked defense, Dallas might be undefeated.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
That's what we're talking about. We just don't want to be 32nd overall, Cowboy fans. We'll take 25th. We'll take 28th. Like, Mongo, they forced 1 more punt yesterday. They win that game. They win. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Like, we're asking for bare minimum, and they can't even get that. I got more stats for you. This was comparing the Mike Nolan disaster in 2020 to Mike Nolan 2.0 and Eberflus. With Mike Nolan, Dallas was 28th in total yards allowed, 25th in yards per play, 31st in rushing first downs allowed, and 27th in third down conversion rate. That's 2020. With Mike Nolan 2.0 and Eberflus, 32nd in total yards allowed, 30th in yards per play, 32nd in opposing passer rating, 32nd in rushing first downs allowed, and 32nd in third down conversion rate. We're 6 weeks in. We're 6 weeks in. This isn't like, okay, week 3, week 4, they're still figuring out. You're almost halfway through, and you're the worst in everything, every major statistical category. You're bad. There's nothing worse. You can't justify him still being the DC right now, let alone in another week or 2. What else needs to happen?
This should tell you, and I hate to bring it back here, this should tell you how deflated the Jets are as a team, that Dallas has literally punted half of the football game, right? That's not a bad defense. That is a defense that you can't make an argument for 31st best in the league. That is definitively the worst defense in the league by a mile. And you still have 2 wins, and you still beat the Jets. Do you have any idea how hard it is in the dumps that is the bottom half of the NFL this year to be 0-6, and yet here we are?
You can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. Like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Both our teams, the Draft Super Show is going to be the next episode. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to move it up this year. We'll just do let's just make it a 4-part, like a WrestleMania 2-night special. They got 2-night special for SummerSlam, 2-night special for the Draft Super Show. Or make it a 4-night special Super Show for the draft. This is ridiculous. Our teams are going nowhere fast, and wow, just wow. Go ahead.
I'm willing to do an entire episode just going through a PowerPoint of names entitled "Guards Who Have Not Missed a Game Yet This Season." Why Elijah Vera Tucker being on the Jets next year will make me a Dolphins fan. That's the name of my presentation for the Draft Super Special.
Savage.
We mentioned the Titans fired their coach. Callahan's out after a year and some change. Mike McDaniel, it's just a matter of when. Tua Tagovailoa, big clown energy, bro. And yeah, of course, he Michael Jackson moonwalked his way today. Yeah, wrong place and time to call out players. First and foremost, Tua, I gotta sit up for this one. Tua Tagovailoa is an Alabama quarterback, and we both know how Alabama quarterbacks look in the NFL, the National Football League. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts, how you doing, buddy? Super Bowl MVP, right? You should be the last person calling anybody out about anything. Because you, my friend, are one of the worst quarterbacks, not just in the AFC, in the NFL, consistently. And I know you're paid like a top-tier quarterback because that's how the market works. But you will be in the UFL in a few years. You can book that. Like Tua Tagovailoa is the last person who should be calling anybody about anything. I've looked at some of his film, Mongo, from this year, just this year, because he's actually been healthy, believe it or not. Just this year. Terrible film. Like overthrowing guys, throwing in double coverage, missing easy rudimentary reads over the middle, just looking like a scout team quarterback. And you have the audacity to fix your lip and talk about, well, guys are late for meetings and they're missing meetings and I don't think guys are all bought in and yada, 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 yada. Because you got paid. You know what I mean? So, Tua, miss me all the way with that. The Dolphins, when's that? My question to you, Mongo, when's that fire sale start?
Well,
that's all I care about. When's that one start?
I'll tell you, here's the only reason I give Tua a D instead of an F on this comment, because he's technically right. This was not the time and place to make these comments. The time and place was about 5 weeks ago. This was how it took this long for him to say, hey guys, I think we have a fundamentally flawed football team is beyond me. I mean, they did not do enough to fix this defense. They did not do enough to fix this offensive line. And they did not do enough to fix this quarterback because it's time for a change. I mean, Malik Washington, I think it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but somewhere in the last couple, he had a game where he went 4 catches for 0 yards. That is literally the definition of wasting your time. You are going, let that stat, in a PPR league, he put up 4 points with 0 yards. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. This is a team that cannot get out of its own way in a way the Jets, can't either. How this firing was not the first one is beyond me. I mean, listen, Callahan to me, and we'll get back to Miami in a second, but Callahan to me sunk his job when, Alec Iomanor started going backwards, right? It looked like they had a real strong rookie wide receiver, rookie quarterback, rookie tight end trio going there. And then unfortunately, when their running backs got healthy, they decided to not just let Ward keep flinging to his rookie buddies. And I think that cost him his job, even if he was, he went all in to try and steal a win or two when he really should have just accepted going 1-16 and letting Cam develop. So, I respect what Callahan at least was trying to do. I think it was the wrong move. Obviously, his franchise thought it was the wrong move, but you could at least see logic. There is no logic in Miami. Best thing that happened to them is that Tyreek Hill can't turn into a poison on the field at this point. But start the fire sale, fire the coaches, see if you can get behind the Saints, the Panthers, a few other bad teams to get a little bit higher in the draft. Because this quarterback class is not what we thought it was, at least not yet. And you may have to be top 3, top 4 to get the quarterback you want at this point.
Like the video. We're not going to waste energy and brain cells on Cleveland. We already know what that is. You know what I mean? Like Myles Garrett, who he decided to make some comments after losing to the Steelers. And I'm just like, bro, you dug in saying that you were out only for a few weeks later to take the money to stay. So cut it out. Like I don't want to hear anything from Myles Garrett.
No,
I don't. You got your bag. You're set for life. You got generational wealth. There goes that word. You got G word wealth. Like but you chose to stay here. Like you chose to stay here. Mind you, I said we weren't going to talk about the Browns. We're talking about the Browns. The Browns are paying 6 quarterbacks right now,
God only knows,
including Joe Flacco.
Yeah, God only knows where it actually ends. But the thing is about the Browns, again, you look at Miami not having a direction. You look at the Saints taking a second-round quarterback. They can't even get him on the field. At least the Browns have unleashed Harold Fannin. At least they've unleashed Judkins. At least they've unleashed Gabriel. They're aware they are a bad team that needs to develop their youth, and that puts them ahead of about 5 or 6 teams in the league. Arian Smith is on the back of milk cartons in New York. I mean, there are so many teams that don't understand we are bad. We need to use this year for development. At least Cleveland has that going for them.
Yeah. Well, like the video. You have to. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about another dumpster fire. What in the world is going on with the? I want to say the Giants. I wanted to. Until Jackson Dart showed up.
Free the rookies, man. I'm telling you.
The G-men, man, they look, very impressive work by Jackson Maga Dart against the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night prime. And a guy you guys passed on, we trolled Maga Dart crazy on this show because he's a white quarterback, so the Giants are happy. But he looks competent. He looks like, okay, you can work with this. This is something that Dable can work with. All right. They knocked off the Chargers, which I did not see coming, not even a million miles away. And again, Dable just was looking for somebody that he could build and just like, okay, I did great work with Josh Allen. Let me get one of my guys so I could just mold and something to work with. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones, he just needed to get out of New York and New Jersey in the greater tri-state area because he's got the Colts. He's got the Colts looking like a playoff team. So a lot of surprises, man. I do want to give some love to before I get to who's impressed you so far. Let's give some love to the BUCS, man.
Yeah.
Let's give some love to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker is playing out of his mind. They knocked off the San Francisco Avengers. the Avengers are again they're another one. They lost another Avenger. Fred Warner's out for the year. His foot was facing backwards. I was watching him live, and I texted my brother immediately like, "Bro, Warner, sorry, bro." I had to give him a hug when he came home yesterday. I'm just like, bro, it's not looking good, But Brock Montana, he's still nursing the toe injury, and Ayuk, they think he's going to be able to come back this year, coming off an ACL. So how good he's going to look. Kittle's supposed to be coming back, but but again, Shanahan still knows how to coach and win games somehow, some way in the regular season. But for the BUCS to knock them off as impressively as they knocked them off, the BUCS are for real. the BUCS are for real. Although they lost Ebuka, they just lost him to a hamstring injury, but the BUCS are for real. Like, what are your thoughts about them and or other surprise teams?
Yeah, I'm gonna get there in a second. By the way, when we wrap up, I'm assuming we're gonna talk a little baseball here. When we wrap up football, just remind me, I got a great stat that you're specifically gonna love. We'll end on that. But the 49ers have a couple stats that are just completely unsustainable, whereas as questionable as their start has been, they're gonna get better. Things like only one rushing touchdown the entire season. I think it's either only one interception or one fumble recovery, but they're at the back of the pack in one of those. Those are things that are going to naturally fix themselves. So San Fran will sneakily be in the playoff discussion. But no, you're absolutely right. Tampa is a team that really deserves some respect, especially because, honestly, the NFC South that should be the doormat has been a little more competitive than we thought. They can't just clinch the division by November 1st. Somehow I was a year early, but the Panthers suddenly look at least mildly competent. Atlanta looks mildly competent. And Tampa, here's my favorite part, though. It's not like Tampa looks scared. Tampa just doesn't care. They're just out there doing their thing. And Baker Mayfield is the perfect poster boy for this. He just goes out. If you were an alien, if you had just come to the planet Earth, and you were just kind of observing using ESPN and using NFL Network, and then I asked you to name how many teams were in the league, you might get to 31. You might not even recognize Tampa Bay as a team because they are so intentionally under the radar. They just go do their thing. They are very good. They have depth at every position. They've drafted well and done the whole thing well over the last couple of years. And so obviously credit to Baker, but credit to that organization. They've really done a good job of just being sneakily solid.
Yeah, like the video, man. We got before we wrap football talk here, gotta talk about the Ravens.
Oh my gosh.
Lamar's hurt. Maybe comes back next week. They're in an uphill battle because the division is looking more and more bleak. I mean, the Steelers, as long as Rodgers stays healthy, you got to give love to the Steelers. They've got a dominant defense once again. They're running the football well. Rodgers is just doing Rodgers things right now. He's managing the game the way that Mike Tomlin wants him to, and they've been taking advantage of this soft portion of their schedule as well. We'll see if it's sustainable. Do I see the Bills do I see them up there with like the Bills in a playoff game or Kansas City in a playoff game or whatnot? That remains to be seen. I'm not quite ready. I'm not quite there yet with Pittsburgh. I still got to see it. Mind you, this is a team that hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. All right. Like we can't gloss over that. Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game since 2016. They have some demons to exercise postseason wise. So we'll see. And it's funny, Rodgers was already bashing the Steelers like home field. He's like, that field was unsustainable. I'm like, bro, you're there for 1 year. Like, shut up. Like cut it out. Like you what I mean? Just play the games and go do ayahuasca and
Savage.
rock smoke. In the jungle, whatever. But no, the Ravens sound the alarm, bro. They're in danger of missing the playoffs. Like that is a very real possibility. They're going to be fighting for their lives like Robert Kelly for a wild card whenever Lamar comes back. It's not a drill. The Ravens are in trouble. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, if you want to play a fun drinking game and of course drink responsibly, go over to New Roads Media and listen to how many times I say Tyler Huntley. I mean, Cooper Rush. God, I mean, good backup, good journeyman backup, but my God, not the right fit for this team. Holy moly, what were they thinking with that one? So I mean, as soon as he got any opportunity, you knew that was trouble. Listen, major injury bugs all around. It's hard to look at this team and not give them a pass all around. The defense, particularly the defensive interior, is soft. I mean, yeah, they have injuries, but even when they were at full strength, I mean, they looked like they were in bend don't break mode. And we talked about it on the last episode. The corners they went out and got. I mean, Humphrey and Jair Alexander are known to give up the occasional rough moment there. So it was built to be a dicey defense, but it the injuries have completely derailed us. And honestly, in the NFC, I'd already have them marked for death. We haven't seen a year like this in a while where the AFC is just terrible. I mean, Joe Burrow going down basically opens up a free spot, and who's taking it? I mean, Cleveland stinks, and the Jets stink, and Miami stinks, and Tennessee is now going to be basically completely in shambles. And I'll tell you one team we didn't talk about, but talk about teams that don't understand what's going on. If I'm a Vegas fan, anytime a play ends without Thornton or the other rookie's name, the wide receiver, Besh being called, what are we doing? Just throw to those two guys 50 times a game, even if you go 1-16. I don't know what they think they're doing in Vegas, but there's another team that if I'm the Ravens, I'm like, who cares what the records say? We can catch them in our sleep. So still hope for the Ravens, despite what the records say. I think they'd be the fourth team to have this record and make the playoffs, I think I saw. So it has been done before, but honestly, it's more about that the teams next to them or in front of them are god-awful more than it is about me having any faith in the Ravens at this point.
Because I'm right.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I vote to put the Raiders in the NFC South. I vote that they should be there. I feel like that's where they belong. It makes more sense. But Pete Carroll, congratulations. Congratulations, Pete Carroll.
Really? No.
Go ahead.
No. None of these beat writers who get paid just to go through the motions are being that critical of some of these teams. But I really, to me, in the power rankings, some of these AFC teams are, even despite the records, despite the wins, but I'd have the Raiders maybe at 31, maybe only ahead of the Jets. I mean, if I'm a fan, or if I'm a zillionaire buying a team, I don't want what they're selling in Las Vegas right now. Give me the young rookies on the Cleveland or the Titan offense. Give me. Honestly, give me Spencer Rattler. Rattler has shown more life than Geno Smith the last 3 weeks. I mean, it is unreal how dead that team is.
Yeah, I mean, we tried this. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Geno, we're just like, bro, they're gonna get Jet Geno. I had a strong feeling that the Raiders were gonna get Jet Geno. They thought they were gonna get Seahawk, occasional Geno. Who can ball out, great deep ball, can win you a bunch of games that he's not supposed to. They thought they were getting that guy. But Geno's like 39. He's like 50 years old, bro. They're getting Jet Geno, and the Raiders are bad. They're bad. They're not good, man.
And remember, skill regardless, this is a man who was once punched out by his own linebacker for basically being intolerable.
Savage.
Is that the guy you want leading the Raiders, a historically undisciplined team, while they're in a soft rebuild? It never made sense.
Never did. Not one iota. All the savages.
Savage.
It's your boy, U-Goboy, and my friends at New York Posse. They're gonna hook you up with some official gear. The Knicks are hotter than ever, and they're gonna get you right with some official snapbacks, beanies, official gear, official like tissue, baby. Hit that promo code below, 2024. Get 20% off on all New York Posse gear. Hit the link below, and they're gonna get you right. It's your boy, U-Goboy. Yahtzee.
We're gonna bring it on home with, of course, some New York Yankee talk. The ALCS is going on right now, and the NLCS is going on. Congratulations to the teams that are in there. We care less because the Yankees are out yet again. And I why not cut another promo? Love you, Phil. Another pipe bomb here.
Hate me. You won't do
is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised whatsoever? The second Mongo, they lost the AL East title and had to play that extra series against Boston. It was over. I knew it. I was like, I don't think I knew we'd beat Boston. I knew we'd beat Boston in 3 too. I called that too. I was like, they're probably gonna drop the first game and win the next 2 because Boston's not really that good. They got Crochet, whoop-de-doo, but the next 2 guys, they should win the next 2, and they did. But as soon as I saw the way that they were just getting slapped around in games 1 and 2 in Toronto, and mind you, they got to Fried. Luis Hill, our Lord and Savior, he looked shaky at best too. Like, it just, you were missing, like, I knew that eventually the loss of the King Cole, Garrett Cole aura was going to come back to roost. You needed Cole for a series like this if you were going to stand a chance. Garrett Cole, his aura alone, man, like, I bank on that. I really do. I really do. I bank on his aura, and mind you, Aaron Judge showed up this postseason. He's out of his mind. He was the Barry Bonds that we've been waiting him to become in the playoffs. He was that. He was that in this postseason, unequivocally. So, like, the writers and the beat writers and the insiders and everybody that covers the Yankees, you can't rag on Judge this time. But this supporting cast, bro, it's not it, man. It's not it. Like, if Schwarber and Tucker, and I think another one of the Japanese World Baseball Classic stars, he just got posted, I think, the shortstop. Speaking of shortstops, Volpe, dear God.
Savage.
If those three names, Schwarber, Tucker, and the Japanese star just got posted, if they're not talking about those three guys, same bat time, same bat channel. What do you expect? Billy Bean Cashman, he'll be back at it. He'll be right back at it, Mongo, and you know it. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm a little bit different from you in that it's hard to not look at this and yeah, a loss stings, but who Cam Schlittler? Welcome, buddy. Hi, friend. Listen,
slow clap for Cam. Slow clap for Killer Cam.
Listen,
slow clap.
You're watching every other team let their aces go 2 innings, 3 innings, starting pitchers going 2/3 of an inning. And here's Schlittler going 7 and 8 like it's no problem. And you know Garrett Cole's going to do the same thing in the playoffs next year. And that is going to be such an advantage when October comes around. But it begs the question, why on earth did we put together this bullpen that every one of them explodes at least twice a week that we're trying to string together? Right. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what statistics say. I don't care what anything says. If a guy makes it through 1 inning, let him go a 2nd inning. We saw time and time again here that this idea of letting 6 different Yankees each pitch 1 inning to get from the 4th to the 9th was a terrible way to do this. And so I do blame Aaron Boone for that, although I know he's just being the yes man. And so I do think you need to take a long look at him.
Savage.
But again, once Cole comes back, I'm very okay with this rotation. There's enough dudes out there in reliever land. You got your Gregory Sotos, your Kirby Yateses, your Kyle Finnegans. I mean, just pick your favorites. Don't overpay anybody, and I'll call it a wash. But the one thing, and I mean, geez, Anthony Volpe, if we could trade him to
Siberia,
to the Houston Rockets,
Expo
for Fred VanVleet, anywhere, anyone, anything who will take him. He's the big problem. But the one guy who's going to get a lot of flack here, who I got to defend. I know the numbers weren't there in October, but listen, I'm bringing back Cody Bellinger. I'm sorry, I am. He's multi-positional, especially with Goldschmidt retiring. That ability to back up Ben Rice, let Ben Rice, because both our catchers are coming back. I don't trust either of our catchers, so there are going to be days where you need Ben Rice behind the plate. So Bellinger's ability to come out there is going to be useful. And listen, I get that the playoffs weren't there for him, but hey, listen, Hideki Matsui won us a World Series. Those weren't the only playoffs he went to, which means there were playoffs where he didn't play at a level that could win a World Series, because guess what? He only won one of them. So batters in the playoffs are going to be hit or miss. And so I'm not worried about bringing back Bellinger and letting him try and win us another one in the future. Grisham's going to get overpaid by the Royals or somebody, so we're going to inevitably lose him. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm seeing if Dominguez or Jones can take that spot. And if not, I'm definitely going to have to replace him.
Agreed. Like the video. And I'll end with this point here. I'm with you too. I love Bellinger. I'd love to bring him back. Yankee legacy. Sign me up for that 10 times a week. You know what I mean? And twice on Sundays. But again, I'm always thinking about plan B and plan C. If you don't, if Bellinger prices out or he just doesn't want to come back for whatever reason, you have to be serious contenders for Schwarber or Tucker. You just have to. You have to. Because I love Jazz. And I want them to extend Jazz. I love Jazz Chisholm. Like, I have his shirt. Like I love that guy. Like, he's, you know, like, yeah, he had an unfortunate play in the infield in the clincher, unfortunately, the last game of the Yankee season. But he's got that aura, that playoff aura of like, yo, we're the Yankees. We're gonna effing do this. I need someone else though. I need a certified three-headed monster in the middle, or at least a certified two guys that can be behind and support the big guy, Judge. And right now, it's kind of Bellinger, you know, for sure. I'm with you on that. But I need another dog, man. And Schwarber's a dog. Schwarber's going to hit 60 home runs if he plays at Yankee Stadium. Are you kidding me? Like, and Tucker can play anywhere in the outfield, and he can hit 60 home runs at Yankee Stadium because he's a lefty or whatnot. Like, my eyes would be set on grabbing one of those two guys if Bellinger doesn't want to come back or he prices out. And I think the Yankees need to, again, there's never a shortage of firepower for me. The more firepower, the better. Playoff Stanton didn't show up this year, unfortunately. He had a couple timely hits from time to time, but he wasn't last year's playoff Stanton for sure. We needed that guy, and he wasn't. And you don't get better as you get older with injury history. You just don't. You know what I mean? So, but I'm with you. I think Tucker and Schwarber need to be on the Yankees' radar if Bellinger doesn't come back. You know, that would get me excited. And of course, King Cole's coming back too. I'm over the moon that King Cole's coming back because this team, they desperately missed him, and that came home to roost, as we both kind of predicted in this postseason. All right, Mongo, great episode, man. I think we covered all the areas here about our respective teams. Draft Super Show will be a 5-part extravaganza, like a double WrestleMania or a double SummerSlam. Dak Prescott has 11 touchdowns in the last 3 games, and the Cowboys have 1 win. So a lot of Cowboy things going on there, and the Jets will win a game. You can bank on that. The Jets will win a game. I believe it.
I put Kyle Schwarber at left guard. Let's put it all together. I'm so over this.
Oh, man. Pray for Mongo. Pray for me, too. Cowboys, Jets, Draft Super Show loading. The belt is somewhere behind me. You know, make a little cameo there. Ric Flair and Bret Hart had that one. And Sting, too. Love you, dog. Happy retirement. That's Mongo. He's got a hat. I'm U-Goboy. I got a hat too. We got the beards going. These beards and the grays that you see are from our football teams. But we love you guys. Come on back. We'll hopefully be in studio too. This has been the U-Goboy podcast. We love you. Peace. Yahtzee.
Whoa. Hey, this a vibe, nigga. Whoa. Woo. Secure the bag. I need more. Hey, 3P Jordan. Whoa. This a whole vibe. I don't need a plug, no cosign. Thinking out loud, that's a gold mine. Mask on, yeah, COVID-19. Baby mama, yeah, looking like Rihanna. Rest in peace to George, rest in peace Brianna. Still kicking like Van Damme with my niggas in Amsterdam.
You go, boy.
Yahtzee.